Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome to my brand new Zwift personal fitness journey. Right now I'm just getting my feet wet, getting the hang of what Zwift is. It's going to take me some time to get used to it. But I'm in this thing for the long haul. First things first, here is the format for what this series is going to entail. I'm going to be riding 4 times a week, recording 3 of those. That content's going to be coming out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Each and every episode is going to have a topic or theme on what I discussed during that episode. Right here you will find a list of some of the topics. As we go on through this series, do comment, suggest additional topics, things you want to hear about. Some of it is going to be Zwift specific, from how the app works, how I'm functioning with the app, from doing specific routes, things of that nature, from training programs, and eventually tutorials. For those who also are on Zwift, I'll be doing group rides from time to time. But also, fitness is an ugly mess. It's so complicated. And establishing fitness the way you want it to be is one of the hardest things in life. It really is. You could spend most of your life fretting about how your fitness is. And to be honest with you, that's exactly what I'm up to these days. 2020 has been a hard year in so many ways. And I have hopes that 2021 will be better. But this is one of the ways, for me anyway, that 21 needs to be better. At the end of the day, I need to feel good about myself. And this lack of stamina, it just doesn't feel like it to me. So, that's what I'm here for. And that's my first goal. Get fit. My second goal goes along with the first, but I want to build up my speed and my stamina for soccer once again. Now, soccer, yeah, I know. Football, rest of the world. Gotcha, okay. Yeah. You had your moment. Hit your head in shame. Let it go. Same sport. Different word. Whatever. Play twice a week. I have for a decade. 2020, again, like I said, was a hard year. Or the reason why it was such a hard year was that I didn't get my twice a week of soccer for most all of 2020. So I've barely been able to play for the last 11 months now. Good news, my league just started up again. Actually just had my first game last night. My other league, the second night per week, well, that one starts up in just over a week from now. So I'm excited to have that back, but I'm lacking speed and stamina like I used to have. So that's my second goal. My third goal, well, that has to do with the channel. For those who have been following the channel for a long time, thanks and welcome. It's the first time you've seen me on camera. Here I am. Woo! Well, for everybody else, what I do on the channel is the name, Decathlon Gamer, is tied to the Olympic Decathlon. And in the Olympics, the Decathlon is a 10-event master competition. So what I've been doing on this channel is similarly tied to that, I do 10 games, and throughout I've been trying to master said games. I'd say one pretty dang good job on, and I've got a couple that have been close. Pro Cycling Manager, definitely the big one on the channel, also the highest scoring game I've ever had. I do pretty well at it. But Zwift, as much as it's about this, it's also about so much more. And it is a game. It does have that element that others lack. And with achievements, and with things to complete, to target, with its own goals, there's something to master. So my third goal, master the game that is Zwift. And finally, my last goal, meaningful discussion. Each episode, each topic is an opportunity at discourse. Like I said, about a third of the episodes will be tied to Zwift, tied to the app, tied to my progress within the app. And many of the topics are going to have to do with my fitness and how I develop that, how I improve that over time. But then I'll have a wide array of topics outside, topics that are free to discuss. And I'm hoping that we can get into that together. Some controversial, many not so much, just my history. But one thing I've figured out before embarking on this journey is that fitness, it's so hard and it's so unique for each and every individual. My wife, for example, eats probably 300 to 400 calories a day more than I do. She's 100 pounds dripping wet. She has metabolism unlike anything I have ever seen. And she's also a really, really good cook. And with that cooking comes good food for me as well. And I gotta tell you, even with eating 300 to 400 calories fewer a day than she does, and eating decently, it makes very little difference. I still put on pounds when she knocks them off. And so my journey, my story, is very different than hers, even with a very similar diet, even with a very similar exercise pattern. And so, in order to know my journey, in order to know what is working for me, and you can make your own similar conclusions, and we can compare our journeys to each other, I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to be an open book for this. From heart rate to weight, body fat, all of those numbers, all that data, I'm going to be sharing that. We'll get the baseline and we'll track the progress. And you can see, if you haven't figured it out by now, I've been testing things out off and on throughout the day, trying to get this up and running, but since I started, I've only been riding for 15 minutes. And you know what? Pretty tired. I was like, I'm not gonna need a fan. Got an in-home standalone trainer that I've been using for years. I never sweat like this. This is so much harder. So much harder. And if you haven't noticed, I'm not going very fast. For one thing though, I'm only half calibrated at this point. I've been having a heck of a time trying to get my setup just right. It is Almost there, but it's not quite there. I tell you, I'm really feeling it right now. Heart rate monitor was working earlier. It's kicked off. It's there. I'm sure it's pretty high. Things have leveled off a bit. Still slightly uphill, but that wasn't a hard climb. But for me, that was a hard climb. It's been so long since I've been outdoors on a bike. Just been using my indoor trainer for so long now, and again, it's not this variety. But I'm hanging in there. Just so first, if you like to see people suffer, you've come to the right place, because I'm going to be suffering plenty. Now I will get better. I guarantee you that, especially if you keep watching. But if you have liked what you've seen, if you like the idea, seem you have to work for it. For one, great motivation tool for you. And the more of you that watch, the more of you that comment, like, subscribe, the more motivation it is for me to keep suffering. So, do that. Take a moment, if you can. To be honest with you, and I know I'm saying that a lot today, but in the whole history of the channel, just the cost of a smart trainer and the setup that I have here is more money than I've earned in the entire history of the channel. It's a hobby. It's a hobby that I put 30 hours a week into. My business is my part-time job. Unfortunately for me, it stays as a part-time job. And so it allows me the freedom to have a hobby such as this. And somewhere down the road, I'd love for this to be more than a hobby. But for now, hobby it is. Oh, actually, there's the finish. Okay, almost there. I'm gonna be just outside of top 100. I guess that's not too bad for my first ride. There you go, 8:39. Not a good time, but it's inside the top 100 for the live results. Whoa, Nelly. Alright, we're going to use this descent as a cool down and call it a day. Alright folks, Thanks for tuning in. I'm the Decathlon Gamer. Really appreciate you being here. Again, like you just saw, where you just want to support a small up-and-coming channel, do hit that like button, do comment, help that algorithm out, and do subscribe for more great content. It's been nice seeing you. Have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Bye for now.